Hello friends, today we will talk about the situation in Ukraine and around Ukraine again, and if you are interested to look over what is going on in Ukraine, in Russia and Eastern Europe, please subscribe for this channel. This week the foreign aid package for Ukraine in the amount of 61 billion was finally approved in the United States Congress. The package was already signed by United States President Joe Biden on April 24. Help from United States gives Ukrainian troops at the front the potential to hold back the new offensive of the Russian Federation and largely preserve the territory. Given the shortage of weapons and personnel, the front line on the Ukrainian side could collapse this summer, causing large territorial losses. Now Ukraine will be able to hold off Russian forces until European allies can provide additional assistance next year and presidential elections in the United States will end. After signing the law on assistance to foreign allies, the United States immediately sent the first package of military assistance to Ukraine for $1 to $6 billion. The package will include, in particular, vehicles, armored vehicles, Stinger anti-aircraft missile systems, 155mm artillery shells, TOW and Javelin anti-tank ammunition, additional ammunition for HIMARS system. This may also include ATACMS missiles. Previously, the United States transferred to Ukraine only a limited number of ATACMS with a range up to 150 kilometers and with cluster warheads. Ukraine is not very happy with the new aid package from the United States and believes that it is not enough to effectively deter the Russian army, since Ukrainian troops are severely depleted after long battles and interruption in arms supplies. Weapons supplies this year will amount to no more than 20 billion. Last year, as Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said, the United States transferred to Ukraine 24 billion aid. To create a more reliable situation for Ukraine at the front, larger financial invention that these are required than it was a year ago. Currently, the situation at the front is difficult. The Russian Federation is putting pressure along the entire front line and looking for a weak spot in order to deliver the main blow there. The main battles continue in Donetsk region, in the Avdiivsky and Bakhmutsky directions. To the north of the city of Avdiivka, the advance of the village continues. Ocheretino, the Russian Federation already controls about 2/3 of the village on both sides of the railway. There is also Russian progress in neighboring settlements, Novobakhmutovka and Novokalinovo. The Russian armed forces also advanced south of the village of in Berdyche and Semenovka. The Russian Federation is advancing in the village of Georgievka, which is west of the city of Marinka. The breakthrough in the village of Ocheretino occurred due to the fact that one of the brigades allegedly left its position without a fight. Ukrainian troops are urgently trying to close the gap using reserves, but even if this succeeds, the situation may be repeated on another sector of the front, since it demonstrates a high level of attrition of the armed forces of Ukraine. Regarding the political context of providing assistance to Ukraine, the following can be noted. United States continues to remain the main donor of financial and military assistance to Ukraine, which cannot yet be fully replaced by the other Western partners of Ukraine. Providing military financial assistance to Ukraine means that the United States is not leaving Ukraine. If there was no aid before the end of this year, it would look like the United States leaving Ukraine. This is also support for the President of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, and his team. Without this help, the President would have faced a domestic political crisis, since it would have been a sign that the United States no longer supported the Ukrainian government. Among these things, this will simplify or stabilize the mobilization process. Of course, there will be no more people willing to join the army because of United States assistance. But previously, people subject to mobilization would have perceived it more aggressively and emotionally, because they would have understood that they would be sent to the front poor armed. Now the attitude towards mobilization will be more tolerant because there is a hope for American weapons and assistance. The new wave of mobilization is a part of an agreement between the country's military and political leadership, as well as its Western allies. Only by enshrining it in legislation and implementing new mobilization measures could Ukraine expect to receive a new package of military and financial assistance. But in general, mobilization process in Ukraine is not without scandals. Ukrainian men of military age will not be able to use consular service abroad from April 23. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine ordered the heads of the all diplomatic institutions of Ukraine to temporarily suspend all consular actions in relations to citizens of Ukraine of military age. The ban will remain in effect until clarification of provisions of law on strengthening mobilization is received. This is stated in a letter signed by the First Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Andriy Sybiga. In the future, Ukrainians of military age will only be able to use services related to issuing identity cards for returning to Ukraine. It is likely that the situation with the consular services will cause a significant portion of citizens staying abroad to become citizens of another country. More than 150,000 men who are liable for conspiration by age went to Europe alone. Since the beginning of the invasion, about 20,000 men of military age have left Ukraine illegally to avoid mobilization. Such data was provided by the border service of countries bordering Ukraine. It is alleged that another 21,000 men were detained while trying to escape abroad. Rumors about personal rotation in Ukraine. It is obvious that the adoption of an aid package for Ukraine in the United States will cause new personal rotation in the highest cycles of government of Ukraine. In particular, personal rotation in the government are expected, which should improve control over the expenditures of these funds. Also, new personnel changes will mainly be related to ensuring progress in the process of Ukrainians' accession to the European Union, as well as reduction costs. Government personnel may be reduced by 30 till 50%. The resignation of the head of the government is not excluded also. Allegedly, patrons from the White House tried to implement the appointment of the ambassador of Ukraine to the United States, Oksana Markarova, to the post of Prime Minister of Ukraine in the last autumn, and the reboot of the cabinet minister back in the fall. But given the fact that the unblocking of aid of Ukraine for Ukraine occurred only now, and it happened during the stay of Ukrainian Prime Minister Dmitry Shmyhal in the United States, it is possible that the final version of personal reshuffle has not yet been adopted, and the complete resignation of the government will not take place. According to the rumor, the office of the president sees Oksana Markarova only as the first deputy prime minister and minister of finance. Not only in Ukraine, but also in Russia, we see a big personal redistribution. It connected with the new term of President of Russia, Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin will take his occupation in the May 7th, and it means that the Russian government should be dismissed in face of a new president of Russia. And this week we see a very loud jailing of the deputy head of Ministry of Defense of Russia, Mr. Ivanov, who is very connected with Shoigu, the head of Ministry of Defense of Russia. Also, we heard a lot of rumors of possible dismissing of the executive head of the administration of the President of Russia, Mr. Peskov. All these are parts of a huge struggle behind the Russian Kremlin couch, or under this couch, about the new faces of the new Russian government. Because the new Russian government will obtain huge power, extremely huge power in the Russian state, because of leadership of Putin and because of war and the distribution of financial resources in the Russian system on the nationalization process, which Putin already claimed. So the new Putin, the new resources, the new distributions, and the new fight between the towers in Kremlin, we will see till the end of May. Thank you, friends, for watching this vlog. Don't forget to subscribe. Please write down your best questions and I'll be lucky to answer for them. See you next time. Bye-bye.